Beautiful Thursday morning in the city of Lagos. Good morning and welcome to Today in the News here on Vanguard Life. My name is Ololade Adewumi. I'll flip into the newspapers for today, starting with Vanguard. Major headline on Vanguard says new INEC chair for Council of States preview today. Tinubu to present nominee on today's meeting. Amupiton in top contention screened. President in firm control of nomination process. How politicians try to force choice of nominee. APC chairman's institutional input. Major headline can be found on page 5 of the Vanguard newspaper. Top banner says, I support 80% of Tinubu's reforms, but Sanusi says, my resignation, not admission of guilt, says Naji. Atiku urges probe of Tinubu cabinet members' academic records. Senate summons Defense Minister COAS IGP over insecurity in Kwara South. 139 million Nigerians living in poverty despite reform gains, says World Bank. Alleged terrorism. NMA report stalls Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Defection of senators. Akpabio, Moro in war of words. Court orders arrest of ex-INEC chairman Mahmood Yakubu for contempt. Alleged genocide. Christian lives not statistics, Khan tells federal government. NESG. Global order losing empathy. Nigeria must produce for itself, says Edu. And on sport, Lesotho versus Nigeria, no panic in Super Eagles camp, says Adeleye. Away from Vanguard, straight into the Punch newspaper. Major headline on the Punch says, Presidency rejects World Bank's poverty report. Nigerians living in poverty rose from 115 million in 2023 to 139 million in 2025, says World Bank. Presidency disputes data. Defense reforms. World Bank urges action on inflation, poverty. Tobana says Dangote refinery engineers on war path over redeployment. Christian killings. Federal government disagrees as Khan backs U.S. senator. Opposition slams governors as state IGR soars by 50%. Nigeria lost $10 billion to Northeast conflict, says UN. And lastly, strike. Federal government ASU in high-stakes talks. Away from the Punch, straight into the Nation newspaper. Major headline on the Nation says, our reforms are bringing down poverty by presidency. Torbana says shelve planned strike. Alausa tells ASU. BOI's 2 billion naira loan for core members. Uche Nnaji resignation, a lesson in honor. Senate 6 military base in Kwara. Troops in communities. APC to take in defecting governors. Away from the Nation, straight into the Guardian newspaper. Major headline on the Guardian today says, World Bank, Nigeria's reforms yielded stability, not relief for poor. Presidency reps knock claims of genocide against Christians to inform UN. JAM screens 176 underage candidates amid push for policy review. Top banner, 17 local government areas under attack, says Benue Emergency Agency. NCC confiscates pirated books valued at 100 million naira in Lagos shops. Lower banner, INEC, court orders IGP Egbetokun to arrest Yakubu. You can't develop without investment, Obasanjo says. Lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, Inaji's resignation splits opinion exposes cracks in vetting system. That's what we have on the front page of the newspapers this morning. Join us after the break for a quick analysis. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News here on Vanguard Life. My name is Ololade Adeomi. I look into our top story for today. 139 million Nigerians living in poverty despite reform gains, says World Bank. The World Bank has called on Nigeria to ensure that the positive outcomes from its recent macroeconomic reforms translate into real improvement in citizens' living standards, as new estimates show that about 139 million Nigerians are living in poverty. Country Director for Nigeria, Matthew Vehis, appealed on Wednesday during the launch of the latest Nigeria Development Update NDU report in Abuja. He commended the federal government for implementing bold policy reforms, particularly the removal of petrol subsidy and exchange rate unification, noting that these actions have begun to stabilize the economy and lay a stronger foundation for a long-term growth. Go over to our website at www.vanguardngr.com for more details on this story. And look into our second story for today. Court orders arrest of Prof. Mahmood Yakubu for contempt. Justice Adefunmilola Demi Ajayi of a federal high court sitting in Oshogbo, Osun State, has ordered the arrest and imprisonment of Professor Mahmood Yakub for disobeying the country's judgment. Recall that Professor Yakub just stepped down as the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), having completed his term in office. However, the court, in its order delivered on Monday, September 29, 2025, before Yakubu stepping down, stated that the Commission's boss failed to implement the court's order to release national officers of the Action Alliance on its website. The party, in a suit numbered FHCOS 194-2024, sought an order from the court to compel INEC, Professor Yakub, to re-enlist the names of Rufai Omaje, led national executive of the party, which had been illegally removed from the Commission's portal. For more details on this story, www.vanguardngr.com. Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms as seen on your screen and our website at www.vanguardngr.com. My name is Ololade Adeomi. Have a lovely day.